love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. Don't stop, just give me up. Back. I won't stop, I'ma fight until there's nothing left. It's so on, you're gonna be hurting bad, cause I've been to hell and back. You don't wanna make me mad, I stay strong, you will never see me crack. And if you get in my way, you're gonna feel the wrath. Gotta say it to my face while he's looking back. Mirror breaks after math, when I hate, I attack. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. Don't stop, just give me up. Don't stop.
Hello. It's pretty insane how the second I think I'm gonna go live, I'm gonna start another coughing episode. And I have to deal with that then. But it seems to be that I'm fine now. I hope so. What is that, Walter? What are you crying about? I was warning and saying in advance this thing is becoming months in advance. Like, I don't know what to tell you here. I mean, I've literally warned and said again and again and again and again how this thing is gonna be so unpleasant. So, hello Alpha, hello Stonky, Damien, Johnny, Leo, Casey, Audi, sir. I'm ready for it. TV folks are. Oh, the TV folks are ready, Walter. I promise you, the TV folks are very ready. They're just telling you otherwise. So, hello, Joseph. Hello, everybody. All right, let's get this show on the road because I'm very late and I'm so sorry for that. But okay, um, so all in all, I mean, I don't really have to say. You all know the market looks like this. Tesla looks like this. Palantir looks like this actually. But just yesterday I said it's going to be dropping to 75 and testing that area, just to be testing upwards again, the 80 range, the 85. So for it to have that room, that space to correct upwards, to then use up that bullish momentum that we said that is upcoming, it needs to have that sort of space, and now it created that space. Now we can see what appears to be currently the ceiling, which is the area of 85, median, which is around 80, and 75 being the bottom. So basically treat it as S1, S2, and S3, meaning support 1, support 2, and support 3. Although it's pretty ugly, but you get the idea. So that's kind of what we're looking at in the upcoming days. Why that is the expectation. Ori Dekel, did we reach bottom? Ori Dekel, I'm very upset at you. You keep on leaving, coming back. Not very brother like. I'm very disappointed. I didn't realize that until I looked the other day. Welcome back though. Again, everybody's welcome at the end of the day. Did we reach bottom? What are you talking about, Ori? We haven't even started yet. This is just the beginning of the beginning of the beginning of the correction. It's the thing the other day that I was talking about, I was trying to emphasize, especially when it comes to the S&P. It is inevitable that I was just literally just now posting that in the community in the Discord and talking about it, how basically we're coming to a convergence point. Right here we can kind of start to see the signs and to smell it a little bit, sort of how it's, getting closer, right? The same way you are driving to the ocean, you can smell how you're getting closer. That's kind of, we can kind of smell that a bit of that corrective movement is coming. We basically reached the bottom right here on the hourly. As you can see, we went up in this sort of almost flat-like channel that is down flat sideways with inkling of downwards. That's how we tend to call them. Time for a bounce and continuation. Exactly, Casey. Exactly. Here, Casey gets it. So, and I've been talking about this with the members as well, and this is sort of something I've tried to bring to everybody's attention the other day when I was making the video, that there will be a bullish impulse. The problem is the sentiment you're feeling right now here is not going to be the sentiment you're going to be feeling here. Here you're going to be all brave. Greg, no worries. The whole correction is canceled. No problem. To the moon. And God forbid if the market keeps on sliding outwards and, like I said, towards the 6,000, people will be going bananas. Will be basically certain that they're, from here it's smooth sailing and it's all nice and dandy. And this is, by the way, very excessive. But since the market is just being excessive all over the place, I have to consider slippage. The same way the market ended up slipping quite significantly and misbehaving today. So it's not going to be completely out of the realm of possibility if the market will end up sort of sliding out of this channel to retest that bottom right there. So this is why we marked it with 1, right? So it's going to be sort of the first step. And then the second step, trying to reach that high before continuing the slide downwards. I think I've actually just marked it. I have it on some other chart. I think this one sort of signifies exactly what I'm trying to say there. Here we go. Yep. That's the chart. Here we go. It sort of signifies that very same idea. How we're slowly slipping over from the shelf. Regardless of what happens here is that sometimes the market gets a little bit more bearish, and so we slip out. The same way we say the market gets too bullish and we slip out, that's normal. So the idea here is that even if we're going to have a correction and it will get higher than expected, the same way the correction down, the movement downwards, pardon me, the wave downwards was so excessive, and the market, and I warned, the market will be extremely volatile from here on out. And so basically what we ended up with is sort of this excessive slippage out of the channel. People are sort of misreading it, saying, well, that's it from here on. It's kind of that same old approach to the sentiment that if the market's going down, then it's gonna go down. No, if anything, the way it works is if the market has been going down, then it's far more likely to correct to the upside, even if temporarily so, and continuing that sort of slipping off. And no one says that from here on, that's it, that's how it's going to look like. I'm just giving you a rough idea, an example of how potentially it can look like, right? So we are so far away from, again, in my humble opinion, I could be completely wrong. Why are we thinking that? Because look, if you remember, Uri, I'm sure you've been around back then, I'm pretty sure. I do know you sort of come and go, but it's really important. You have to be consistent, otherwise you don't have that continuous sort of picture or an idea of what really is going on in the market. You're just having this very temporary sort of point of view of what's going on. And this is, for example, remember the monthly, right? I've been warning that when we're gonna hit that ceiling, things are gonna get very problematic, even if it's gonna take some time. So you can see right now it took some time, right? Several months. kind of how we expected it to work out, kind of at the end of the day. And so we understand that the same way we didn't hit that high in a singular smooth motion, and there were corrective periods, right? The same way when we do start to go down, although somewhat quicker than we went up, right? We depreciate in price oftentimes quicker, faster than we were appreciating in price in the market. That's just naturally how it works. Basically, of a ratio to 5 steps up, and we give back 3 steps. Just kind of that's how it works, 5 to 3. So give or take on a regular normal cycle, right, which can vary and change, still can depend on circumstances. So right now, my argument here is that the first sort of station, the train station, will be testing, which going to in a near term vicinity, if you're gonna consider several months out near term, is going to be 5400 handle. We spoke about this. The actual support level is sitting at 5424.87. You can see it on the screen right here. And kind of the junction point between the channel and this very strong support level, and the way the momentum is currently structured and pointing downwards with a significant convergence. As we say, this sort of thing signifies a significant downwards momentum pressure, right, that is going to be affecting the market in the upcoming, at least what we can see here, roughly at least a month or two from here on out, right? Not even including the 21 days that we have ahead to finish up this month. Because remember, this month can close completely differently than what it's looking right now. It can correct all the way up back to 5,799 easily, no problem. Like a 5,800 basically handle, sort of retest that area. What's the problem, right? Easily. We've seen the market sort of do these sort of motions multiple times in the market before, back and forth. Basically, everything is a process, right? It's not just a straightforward process that we end up with. It is a gradual, very slow process, okay? Now, so basically what we're looking at right now is roughly the area of 54-ish, right? We know it can vary. It doesn't have to be exactly that particular precise number. It can even drop to 5400 like actual 5400 flat, right? Just kind of because 5400 is a very strong psychological level. And I will remind you, most of you probably have forgotten, remember, we have a very, very important level. Who here is going to write in the chat before I mark it? Who here remembers what I'm talking about? Who here knows and remembers the 5555555? So remember that wonderful thing? So that, I think it was a 55555 like that, right? That's where we had it. So don't forget about that one, which we know is a very strong level. We've seen it take place before. Here it is. You know what? Just like I've marked it right now. Let's go into the hourly point of view so we can actually see whether we have tested it before. Kind of sort of test my argument here. And below and behold, look, every time we hit that 5,500, the market tends to test it quite significantly, then retest it over periods of months again and again and again, just sort of break off of it. And those who remember, yeah, I will not be able to go that far with this point of view, but you guys know what I'm talking about. This level is there for quite a while, basically, right? Oh, here it is. No, that's it. I can't even see it anymore here. Here's just going to be the whole sort of point of view from further out. So it was all internalized right here, but you can kind of see it right here, right here, right here, right here, right here. You can see all of these points being tested significantly by that 5,500. Those who've been around in the community back then, exactly. The songs, no, we're far away from that, brother. We're like a decade late or something. A decade and a bit, a couple, almost. Well, yeah, actually, I mean, well, no, actually, you are, what am I saying? You are like a couple decades late, objectively. But very funny, Stunky, very funny. But jokes aside, yes, psychological levels, we all know they are a thing. So 5,500. And it appears to be, in fact, again, I'm kind of horrified. I think the most horrific thing we've seen today was Tesla, because this is just stupid. Those of you who watched, I spoke about these levels just the other day. just to kind of zoom out to give you a better point of view. Those who follow the lives and the channel and myself for some time now know the expectation was as such. Basically, do break to roughly around, we said 246.51 if things get really nasty. We were relying more so on 256.54 to hold us, which if you really objectively zoom in, you will realize the market have actually tested it perfectly, right? And I can actually show you how we kind of tested this just for a little bit, for a second, the 246.51. The market acknowledged it, but otherwise we kind of slit right through, which is just bizarre. With all the respect, we ended up dropping, pardon me, we ended up dropping all the way to I mean, you can see the number, right? But that is basically the level, the 221.26. That is the actual level that is currently holding us up, if you will. In fact, today, earlier in the day, when I spoke still on Tom's Discord, I was talking to some of the members, and we were still, ironically enough, when we were still in the vicinity of 240, that wouldn't have been out of the realm of possibility if we would have ended up correcting and just sort of this pocket-like action, just sort of just burn out this negative momentum, basically them selling and then being able to have that very low buying position to have a short range sort of swing trade, potentially taking it all the way back to 206.70 maybe. Again, the vicinity of these levels, 270, very strong levels altogether. So that kind of made sense to me. And expecting that bullish action that we are expecting, that correction that we're expecting to see on the S&P sort of coincides and correlates very neatly. By the way, another way you can see sort of signs of the market potentially going for some corrective movements right here on the 4-hourly. You can see convergence, divergences, processes. Basically, we end up testing that what appears to be the median, the center of the stochastic RSI, which is signified by the 50 level, and that 50 level basically allows us to determine where bearish and bullish the bullish and the bearish area starts. Just to kind of give it to you like this, it's more so like, imagine there's I imagine, but basically there is this line that separates the two partitions, right? So let's just put it at 50 flat, and that's what it does. And everything that happens below this 50 is basically more bearish, and everything that happens above it is more bullish. Just kind of see it as that borderline, if you will, or whatever. Let's do it this way. Okay, that's very visible, very neat, and you get the idea. And when you have convergence of the forces, meaning right now we're still bearish at face value, but if you just look at the daily, which is a little bit more objective about these sort of things, we've been bearish all along, and this was exactly that action that we've gotten through the last sort of couple of, multiple sessions, right? These, I would say, since the 18th of February, okay? So basically since the 18th of last month. This particular sort of impulse, although I've been arguing that this has started a while back and it's just a little bit more difficult to identify that switch over from the bullish momentum into the bearish momentum. And I will also highlight notice how very slow this process is. It doesn't matter really if we go anywhere, you can see these processes only when they correct. Sometimes they're rather rapid, but normally you can see these processes are very slow, while the corrective movements downwards are very rapid. Why? This is because the nature of the market, the way the fear works and affects people. So basically what we're seeing here, what you saw in the 4 hours, is almost condensed just into this bottom area. And so what we are actually seeing is, again, a potential convergence of the forces right here. And once we have that, of course, you're going to have more of that bullish momentum. Those who are new here, it's kind of a joke. It's the combination of a bullish and bearish momentum. It's just kind of when the market is uncertain. Basically, everything that is oversold is extra bearish. But while you have the K take dominance being above the D, basically the green line is above, as so, like this, you get bullish price action, right? Just sort of that's what it represents. It's a moving average of the forces, and sort of it shows you how that moving average condensed and oversimplified, of course, then shows you what your speedometer is showing you, sort of where your direction and speed is in a particular movement over a particular period of time as well. You have to remember it's limited over time as well. So don't take it as like from here on out, up to Timbuktu. No, it doesn't work like that. So basically, the simple idea here is just that this convergence, right, of the forces, a retest is also, it is very samurai-like. So, or also what it does, it basically sort of signifies that potential retest that we said at least to that SMA that we're having creeping up right around 5,800, same levels that I've sort of concluded from our various channels that you can see we've been taking participation in actually for quite some time. It's since July last year, really, because that's where we've started penetrating these channels and establishing that this is sort of the flattening channel, the flattening of the curve. And now we're seeing, I was warning you guys for a very long time that it's coming and it's going to be very unpleasant. And everybody's already running around like headless chickens. Like, we haven't even started yet. This is not yet fully the beginning. It's going to be it's gonna be choppy, if you will. People will get quite nauseous by this process, by a lot of back and forth, and so I do expect a lot of people basically to be ejected out of the market based on the price action and uncertainty. This is also what, real quick before I forget. I right now reopened. I've opened two special extra spots in my one-on-one academy. I'm gonna keep them at the current price, which is again 3,000. Um, so I'm gonna keep it right now temporarily and open, right? These two spots, and if they're not taken, it's not about the price, but they will be locked. Okay, so I'm very very serious. Don't miss out on these two spots. And if nobody will basically take them in the following week or so, they're basically around the week time, they will be locked for quite a while. So don't miss out on these spots right now. I've decided, since some people asked me about these spots and why not anymore and this and that, and so I've decided to do sort of that awesome thing. And then at least one of the students I was talking to, at least currently right now, is not able to. So you do still have these spots. Definitely take advantage of that. Otherwise, you'll miss out. And you guys know, once they're locked for a while, because depends on the rate of the students. And myself, I'm not still not feeling 100%. You can hear. And in fact, like I said, I was late to this because I was just having another coughing episode. But I am trying and I am getting better. But still, just kind of mind that there will be no open spots for some time now. So don't miss out on these. What do I do in that one-on-one academy? I teach you one-on-one on the Discord in an interactive session how to actually do proper analysis, so you're not dependent on me going live every single day. And God forbid, if I drop dead, you'll be fine. Like, you'll know what the market is doing. You'll not be dependent on various talking heads in the media. You'll actually have your own head on your own pair of shoulders, which you'll be able to sort of figure out what it is that you're seeing, make your own decision making process, and manage your portfolio like a real adult. So what are we really seeing? So basically nothing really changed in terms of those who are following the lives. Just to kind of continue my rant, there's not a lot to say more than I've said already. We were prepared for this. We knew it's coming. Don't get your pennies in a bunch, pardon the French, but get ready for it to get very nasty, very volatile, lots of ups and downs, and don't get misled by temporary movements. Sort of have your, keep your eyes on the prize, right? Just prepare for this very, very, very volatile market. Another thing is, since I do have the opportunity, I've dumped Kratos because I'm expecting them to drop. I haven't had yet the opportunity. I was just doing it before. I didn't make too much on it, just a couple of thousand shekels, just for the F of it. Pretty decent, obviously, I cannot complain, but I have dumped because I'm expecting a corrective movement downwards on KTOS, so I've dumped it for now. No, I'm still holding my plug. In fact, I bought some more. I think I've just updated it just the other day, and actually I bought some more after that. I'm pretty sure I've not updated that one. I bought like 300 more afterwards. So yeah, I'll have it updated later. I didn't buy any S triple Qs, which I probably should, considering that we are rushing so fast. But considering the fact of the matter that we'll probably have a corrective movement to the upside on the indices, so our S triple Q will be dropping a little bit, and I'm expecting that. Although it will not necessarily going to be dropping to the very same sort of corresponding location it had before with the indices. That's part of the trick, that when we actually turn around and start gaining momentum to the upside, you'll see that even though you expect it to lose more of its price, it doesn't lose all that much. So I wouldn't recommend dumping as much as, I mean, I don't wouldn't recommend doing anything. At the end of the day, you do you. But I'll tell you that I'm definitely not dumping any of my S triple Qs. What I am doing is just once it does drop a little bit and sort of slide downwards, I will be buying, right? Just kind of getting my average, keeping it lower. Since I've started pretty high, my average is above 40, so I actually want to keep it lower and bring it even lower. And so yes, I actually will be buying more very very soon. Um, Another real quick, before I forget, definitely join the Patreon. Here is the URL. You need to use. You need to go to patreon.com/investory. There you can join 2 tiers. There's I'm brand new here, just kind of to get introduced to the whole community. It's super cheap right now. All the prices, I've cut down all the prices and 50%. 50%. Okay, so basically, if whatever tier was earlier for $20, now it's $10. Whatever was $20, now again is 10. Whatever was 40, which I kind of didn't have it open, now more for the more advanced members who want to participate in a very serious once a month call, so that where we analyze. Of course, maybe it'll expand over time. Right now, it still is just one call for a month. Again, until I get better, at least we'll see how we'll figure things out later. Of course, the more I can do, the merrier, and I will do as much as I possibly can. In terms of meetings and extracurriculum activities, if you will, right? And let's go back to the main screen here before people nod off and fall asleep. But you get the idea. Definitely inquire about the One-on-One Academy. That the One-on-One Academy also gives you lifetime membership on Discord. Hi, Tom. Hello. Um, I haven't been attending the thing too well. I'm a bit behind. I think I'm going to tickle the 600 space. Right, Mamba, you understand. I know you understand. You've been around here for long enough. I don't think it's. You know what? Just to be frank, I don't think it will actually get to tickle. I mean, if you call 5900 to tickle the 6000, then yes, it probably will. I do think it will do that. I don't think we will actually get that, but again, I have to acknowledge what is possible, right? So that is possible. A little bit late, but I'm here. Blackberry, hello, hello, hello. Damien, gonna have to watch reply work and calling things. No worries, no worries, Damien. Appreciate it. 5555. Yes, boys and girls, absolutely. There you go. Those who remember, appreciate it. Hamza. There you go, Blackberry. Stonky with his nonsense, as we said. I'm like, sorry, no worries, Mira. Always welcome here. Plug, no, not much to say about Plug. I mean, I personally will be buying because I think we're still hugging the bottom, and we're gonna be hugging the bottom sometime before we actually start to see decent pickup on Plug. So I mean, still buying, basically still buying and buying and buying, and I think we have months ahead of buying, and especially with the oil dropping as significantly as it has. I don't know if you guys have been following. Trump has been killing energy like 65.90. I mean, he's been making a mess and all, but energy has been killing it when it comes to energy. Look at it, this 65.90. We should have been actually around 79 by now. So he dropped energy by, I would almost say, whole 15 basis points, just to be honest. I mean, damn, pretty impressive. Still doesn't change anything because we just ended up prolonging the process once we have do convergence, and we know that as sort of the bigger picture. We've been expecting that to take off for some time now. You can see again convergence, divergence, so a little bit of misdirection temporarily, and then just so it takes a little longer. Big deal, right? So energy will still pick up, and it's going to be very unpleasant to those who are unprepared. But yeah, that will then work very neatly for Plug and various other assets of this sort. But as you can see again, the 3 months is a perfect chart, sort of emphasize that we still totally have time. Like, no worries. No worries. When we do see some of these impulses, some of them are good and all that wonderful stuff. but we're waiting for one of these. Okay, that's the sort of thing we're waiting for. Not necessarily as tall as this one, but you get the idea, right? And so far in the time being, while we have the opportunity, at least I myself, again, not financial advice, you do you. Definitely, I'm buying and buying and buying. It's definitely so cheap. Like, why not? You know. So Kratos is off the plate right now. Plug still buying and buying and buying. In fact, like I said, I bought 300 more just the other day. I think I forgot to update. I think I was like 1,300 stocks altogether. I'll check it a bit later. Where we were at plug. We said plug. We've done that. Stonk. Right? We've done that. Greg is world class TA expert. I'm a world class TA expert. I wish I was. I am so shit at Word. I used to be good because we had to be, but now I remember jack shit. But thank you, Tom. I appreciate the kind words, brother. At fractional cost of other so-called experts. That's true. That is true, guys. Even the tiniest amount that I charge for my academy, you guys have no idea. In fact, I myself am horrified. You can ask some of the members to the prices you guys get charged out there, so to speak, and the lack of knowledge you end up with. I'm like, if you pay all that, at least I expect you guys to come out with the knowledge, and you don't. So that's what I'm really horrified. So Tom, absolutely, brother, thank you very much for that shout out, and it's absolutely true. It's something I don't brag about often. I don't talk about because I'm not great at marketing myself. I'm not much of a marketer. Bad Words gang here can vouch. Tom can vouch. I'm not a great marketer, but I am pretty good at technical analysis. That's sort of where where I'm really good at, right? Where my expertise is at. So definitely right now, highly again recommend take these two spots for the one-on-one academy. The way to go about it, if you can give me half a second, I will put down an email where you can email me, right, to ask about that one-on-one academy. If you guys will bear with me just half a second, I hope I will be able to find it. I hope so, at least. I'll try and post here an email address where you guys can reach out to me. So we're not gonna have any confusion, and you can ask about the one-on-one academy and all that beautiful stuff. Why am I not finding it right now? Bear with me. I know it's annoying to just sit there and wait, so nothing is happening. Where did I have it? Bear with me, boys and girls. I'm so sorry. I could have picked it up from another spot. I'm being a moron. Okay, I'm just being a stupid idiot. Just bear with me. I'm gonna put it in the chat in a second, right? It is, here it is. Okay, I'm gonna put it in the chat now. I hope. Yeah. So those of you who are interested in the one-on-one academy and are not certain how to reach out to me and don't want to go through the whole process of joining the Discord and all that, although I highly recommend joining the Discord because it's a pretty cool place. As you can see, we have that's Tom's, pardon me, which is just as cool, by the way. I mean, I've designed both of them, so I can vouch. Both of them are pretty cool. From chat, like for example, right here, I was posting about what it is. Literally the same stuff I was just talking to you about. I was showing it to my members, so they'll be also prepared for it. Of course, they always get the first notice. It is what it is. The various stickers we can talk about. Everybody can add my positions. Like I said, I do keep my members informed on my various positions. Although this is not updated, and I definitely need it more updated. Also, I need to update this. Various sort of little tidbits about Charting 101. The Academy members, those who actually sign up to the 101 Academy, get a whole another area, but right now it's not that important, although it still is in the works. There are various awesome things here that I'm not going to show, private IP, if you will. Of course, various other channels where we discuss all sorts of cool stuff. The Jukebox, You have here from anything from tabloids to memes, of course, casual chat. You can discuss whatever and anything from politics to Arizona tea, whatever you like, drones, new EVs, guns that count bullets, you name it. All awesome stuff, basically. And yeah, so definitely join the Discord, and that way you'll be informed about what it is that I'm expecting and seeing and the analysis in the market. But again, to one-on-one students, they know you get taught more in-depth analysis, and sort of you're being taught how to be independent, and that way you can then do your own analysis and then sort of argue with me whether you agree, disagree, you see it the same way, what is it you see. You're basically able to make your own decisions, not just be reliant on Greg. Greg, remember to plug your off. I'm not. I'm afraid. I'm afraid to ask. I'm afraid to ask legitimately with you. You can have very interesting. But yeah, by the way, to those who are asking whether this could be the beginning of that bump up, it could definitely be the beginning. Does that mean it's gonna just, we're just gonna blow up from here on out or follow this channel, for example? Not necessarily. We'll see tomorrow better, but yes, this could be the beginning of that corrective movement. Although I gotta admit that in some of the time frames on some of the spots, I still have seen some bearish momentum, so we might at least start tomorrow not necessarily as pleasant, and some of you are expecting already to fly to the moon tomorrow. I mean, we already closed correcting, right? But remember that what you saw on the close, that was basically we have a movement down, and that's the corrective movement on that. What we're expecting is a corrective movement on that is far larger and is based upon a more significant drop that we had from a higher point. So it's sort of a mix of things. Don't confuse one with the other. Different scales, if you will. Okay, we said Palantir, we've covered that. It is what it is. 70. We said drop to 75 in order for it to have room to go up. 80. Mid-range, the sort of center of the channel, the range that will be moving around. 85 is the ceiling appears to be right now. So basically S1, S2, S3. So that's the range we'll be working with. Really, actually, it's not the way. It should be somewhat different because we can slip and slide out to, for example, even 89, which 90.43, still a very strong area. So don't consider this all completely out of the realm of possibility. We can actually still see a 90 with Palantir, given the momentum, the pressure, how good the company is. It's Palantir, guys. I mean, I gotta admit it, and I've warned in the first place. Palantir will be dropping slower than the rest, which will, by the way, will give you a little bit more, I guess, confidence in the asset, because will be, even though the storm is just getting started, and no one says it's not gonna get wet or dirty in the storm. It's going to get as dirty as everyone else, but maybe slightly slower, and subsequently it's gonna feel like an asset that is a little bit more confident in its value. So it's gonna be quite volatile on the other hand as well, if you think about it. But the bottom line is that, yeah, these ranges, currently I would in fact look at it more of a median, S1, S2 really, and there's an S3 in between, and sorry, pardon me, R1, R2, and there's an R3. S1, S2 actually resides around 67.12. Later, you don't say that, I'm making these numbers up as we go. No, just the opposite. I know all the numbers in advance. So that's 62, 65 flat, of course. You're going to have 67.12 there. Don't forget 70 is going to be strong psychological. 75, which are basically just millimeters off of, which I argue is part of the pressure of why the market is stopping around where it is right now. Those are very strong psychological levels, the 75, 70. Of course, the other fib retracement levels that you're familiar with, I definitely recommend knowing these wonderful tools, part of the skill set I teach, by the way. 67.12, 62.39, 59.40, 58.67, 56.06, 53.45, 50.22, and the very next very, very strong level would be 45 itself. Okay, so that is it. Now you are familiar with all the levels. Write them down, rewind, rewatch if you need. And that's Palantir for you. And yeah, that's kind of it. I think there's nothing much to say. Of course, like we said, and we know SQQQ had a very decent day. throughout the session. We went as far as 39.30, it seems, 39.39ish, 37, whatever that was there. Let's see what is that like, 39, 36, 37. Cool. But you get the idea. That's kind of what we got. Market correcting again the same way on all assets. Look at this, the same way. Look, we've gone up, right? The market has this bullish pressure, and then we have to have some corrective movement that is significant enough, right? And actually very rapid. That's very normal market behavior, and we're still keeping the current channel as we've been throughout the day. So you see, that's actually very normal behavior. But we are expecting some corrective movement, which also comes through by the SQQQ hitting a certain temporary ceiling, and we have this. So we understand there is a room to correct. Again, I'm not going to be dumping. I'm going to be simply waiting for that process to sort of correct here, and I'm going to be buying when the opportunity will present itself, which I don't think is going to be all that too far. But for the time being, obviously, there is some room to correct here. I think near term 36-ish. That's what we're looking at. That's it. That's it. Alrighty. Greg has off. You should have. Okay, now I really get what you were saying. Of course, there's only Greg. There's only Greg's. There's it's not OnlyFans thingy. I don't know. I hope not. I don't know. I hope that's allowed, like as a thing to say. But anyway, so yes, there's only Greg's. You go there and you get all the uncensored technical analysis. While I'm doing that with a cowboy hat, socks, and a little thong, a tiger thong, like in the Jackass thing. So that's like the only Greg's exactly. There you go. There you go. Actually, I probably should give credit to a awesome YouTuber named Burks. He streams Star Citizen. I sure should hope I'm not gonna get in trouble for this time. Last time around, I got something else though. It was pretty annoying and hilarious. But anyway, he makes this like this joke was taken from him. He makes this joke all the time. A really awesome YouTuber, streamer who I myself watch whenever I actually feel like I'm not dying and I have some time. I spend my time sometimes watching that awesome streamer. His name is Burks. He streams Star Citizen. Those who know, that's kind of a game star thingy simulator, blah blah, which I enjoy when I have a bit of time. So yeah, that's his joke actually. The only Burks, so only Greg's. Definitely join that. Definitely join all only Greg's. You're gonna get all the uncensored, sexy analysis. Like I said, cowboy hat, socks, and cowboy boots, of course. I mean, and charts, right, and a little thong. Right now, hey Christoph. Alrighty, boys and girls, I think it's time to finish today's stream. So I think most of you are more or less prepared and understand what is that we're expecting to see in the market. Sadly, overall, the market is just getting started, so things will get nasty. But for the time being, don't get too confused by this bull trap that we're about to have for some time. Which again, it's very difficult, and I would argue that it's a bull trap from very few angles. Mostly, it's a pretty evident and pretty clear drop off of the ledge, if you will. Absolutely, yes. Like Stonks just said, Patreon.com, only Greg's, right? But then look, remember, Patreon is just a gateway. All the activities are held on Discord, right? So if you join Patreon, make sure you do make your way to the Discord server, which you'll be presented once you do join on Patreon. You'll be presented with a link, a message that will tell you where and how to join and all that beautiful stuff. You'll have instructions when you do join the server. When you do join the server, I'll show you. What happens is that you get this left click me, right? And you have all the instructions and explanations to how things work and all that beautiful stuff, right? How to link your accounts. And once you complete that process, I know you see a bunch of channels here, like, well, Greg, I joined in, I see only the left click me and need help, blah, blah, nonsense. So basically, if you follow all the instructions here, right, after you join on Patreon, you will be let into the actual Discord server, and you'll be able to go to talk to me and join us on the open forum pretty much every single day. see the charts, and be always up to speed first. That's it, boys and girls. You all have a wonderful morning, evening, night, Chag Sameach, Tzom Kal, whatever it is that you're having. Happy holiday, happy Hanukkah, right? Yeah, but see you tomorrow. See you tomorrow, and I hope to see you all on Discord in the community so we can talk one-on-one properly, and you can learn better about how the market and why the market does what it's doing. Alrighty, see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.